Chapter number 1, Matter in Surrounding. Let us start another topic, that is the property of liquid. As we have discussed the property of solid, now let us discuss about the property of liquid. Now liquids where the force of attraction in between particle is lesser than solid but more than a gaseous, as well as interparticle space is more than solid but less than a gas. Now let us see the first property, that is a no fixed shape. In case of liquid, the particles are far away from each other, so there is no definite shape of a liquid will be there. If you take 100 ml of water in beaker, then it will take the shape according to beaker. If we are taking the 100 ml of water in case of conical flask, then it will take the shape of, it give the shape of a conical flask. If we are taking the same quantity of water in case of round bottom, then it will give the shape of a RB flask. Number second property, that is a fixed volume. We have seen in all the cases we have taken fixed volume. So volume remain fixed, that means definite volume, but shape goes on vary from container to container. Our third property is density. Density, that means mass per volume. It is said that density of generally liquid is lesser than density of solid, but it is not always true. Some liquids, their density is maximum and more than even solid. Density, it is said that density of mercury is 13.2 kg per liter. That is a maximum density. Now density shows the volatility. If liquid is more denser, then it is a less volatile in nature. Now next property, number 4, is fluidity. Liquids have tendency to flow. They can flow from higher pressure to lower pressure. Liquids always they flow from higher concentration from upper region to lower region. If the liquid, its density is more, then fluidity of liquid is decreases. If density of liquid is lesser, then fluidity of liquid is increase. That means if we are taking the honey, which is quite denser than the water, so density of honey is more, so fluidity of honey is lesser. Density of water is less than the honey, so fluidity of water is more than honey. Now next property, number 5th one, is kinetic energy. Kinetic energy, that means what? Flow of particles from one region to another region, motion of particle. With increasing the temperature, kinetic energy increases. But in case of liquid, kinetic energy is more than a solid but lesser than gaseous. Sixth property, that is the diffusion. Diffusion means flow of particle from higher concentration to lower concentration that depend upon the volatility of the liquid. Now there are 3 types of diffusion if we are considering solid. If we are taking the example of solid in liquid, suppose we are taking copper sulfate and it dissolve in 100 ml of water, then copper sulfate slowly and gradually it mix with water. So that is the example of fluidity diffusion of solid in diffusion, that of copper sulfate into water. Another example, if we are taking potassium permanganate in water, it can be diffused slowly and gradually inside the water and it gives its color. Now second one, liquid in liquid. Example of liquid in liquid, alcohol in water or honey in water. So when we are mixing together, they can gradually mix with water. Third one is gas in liquid. In all the cold drinks, carbon dioxide is present, so that can be mixed with water. If we take oxygen, that dissolved oxygen is present inside that water. That is another example of a gas in a liquid. Now let us start. Properties of gas. Gas where the particles are far away from each other, interparticle space is maximum, and force of attraction in the gaseous particle is almost negligible. Now first property, gases do not have any definite shape, are not a fixed shape, no fixed volume, because particles are very far away from each other, their kinetic energy is maximum, so that's why they can flow in all around the surface. Now third property, highly compressible. Gases are more compressible than the solid as well as the liquid. Let us understand one activity based on compressibility. Gases are more compressible than solid and liquid. Take three different syringe, 100 ml syringe denoted by A, B and C. The material required for this activity, 100 ml 3 syringe, then rubber cork, then water as well as chalk powder. Now let us start this activity. Remove the piston, upper region, that is known as a piston of that syringe. Remove the piston from all the syringe, and the lower nozzle, that is covered by the rubber cork. You covered this nozzle with rubber cork. Now, in case of syringe A, you keep as such. Don't put anything. Now, second syringe B, in that you add some quantity of water. And in case of syringe C, add some quantity of chalk powder. Now apply piston one by one syringe. When we apply the piston, before applying the piston, you apply the Vaseline surrounding that piston area, and then apply from the top region. Now apply the piston inside the syringe. We will observe nothing is there. That means what? Air is filled inside it. That means gaseous nature. So that piston is highly compressible and move in downward region up to lower level. Now in second syringe, we have added water. So water is almost negligible compressibility. That's why it will not move that much inside that syringe. Now in third case, syringe number C, where we have taken chalk powder, that will not show that the compressibility is almost negligible. So from this activity, what you have observed, that gases are more compressible than liquid, liquids are more compressible than solid. Now, LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, as well as CNG, compressed natural gas, can be filled by increasing the pressure as well as decreasing the temperature inside the cylinder based on this property. Now, our fourth property is water. Gases shows less density. Density of gases generally lesser than solid as well as a liquid. But density in case of gas vary from gas to gas. Density of hydrogen is almost comparatively all the gases is very less. That is the reason hydrogen is filled inside the balloons. And these balloons, they can move in air because the density of hydrogen is less than the density of oxygen. Now next property is rigidity. Rigidity means what? Hardness. Because particles are very far away from each other. So we can say the rigidity of all the gases is almost negligible or nil. Next property is what? Diffusion. Number 6 property is what? Diffusion. Now diffusion is inversely proportional to density. More denser gas, which more shows the more diffusion. So rate of diffusion that depend upon density as well as the volatility. If density is maximum, volatility of that gases is what? Lower. So density is inversely proportional to diffusion, or in another word, if more denser gases are there, then they will show the rate of diffusion in that case is what? Decreases. Example, hydrogen diffuse with high speed than carbon dioxide, because density of hydrogen is lower than carbon dioxide. Hello students, as we have seen the properties of solid, liquid and gas. So let us compare these properties. So let me see comparison between solid, liquid and gas. Now all the three state of matter, their parameter are shown here. Now first property, let us compare the property force of attraction. Force of attraction in between solid is maximum, liquid less and gas force of attraction is negligible. Number 2, the shape and volume. Solids particle shape is fixed as well as volume is fixed. In case of liquid, definite volume but shape is not fixed, that vary container to container. In case of gas, both are indefinite or not fixed. Third characteristic or third property, let us compare it, compressibility. In case of solid, compressibility is almost negligible or nil. In case of liquid, it is nil, and in case of gas, it is highly compressible. Density, solids, particles, they show maximum density because density is mass per volume. Solid particles, generally, they having maximum mass and less volume. That's why their density is more or maximum. Here, liquid shows less density than solid but more density than gas, and gases are showing very low density. Next one, number 5th, that is the diffusion. In case of solid, the rate of diffusion is nil. Rate of diffusion in case of liquid is less. In case of gas, rate of diffusion is maximum. Interparticular space, in case of solid, it is least. In case of liquid, is less. In case of gas, it is the highest. Next one, energy. Solid particles, they having lowest energy. In case of liquid particles, they are showing less energy. In case of gas particle, they are showing maximum energy. Our next topic is measurement of temperature. What is temperature? The hotness as well as coldness of an object is known as a temperature. The device which is used for measuring temperature is known as a thermometer. Now there are different type of thermometer, different scale of measuring temperature we will learn here. First one is Celsius scale, which is denoted by degree, capital C. Second one is a Kelvin scale, which is denoted by capital K. It is also known as the absolute scale as well as the thermodynamic scale. Next one, Fahrenheit scale, which is denoted by degree F. Now there is a relationship between Kelvin as well as the Celsius. Kelvin is equal to degree Celsius plus 273. This implies degree Celsius is equal to K minus 273. If the value is given, melting point of ice as well as freezing point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. So if we want to convert it in Kelvin, so we have to put this 0 degree plus 273. So 0 degree Celsius shows 273 degree Kelvin. Here is a relationship between Celsius as well as Kelvin. Now next one, Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit is equal to 9 by 5 degree Celsius plus 32. Now if we convert Celsius into Fahrenheit, then we can use directly this formula. But if the value is given in Fahrenheit, then we have to reverse this formula. That means degree Celsius is equal to F minus 32 into bracket, and whole bracket is multiplied with 5 by 9. Now it is said that if we take minus 40 degrees Celsius, at that time we are getting Fahrenheit value also minus 40 degree Fahrenheit. Now Kelvin thermometer, generally we are, Kelvin is a SI unit of temperature. Now Celsius thermometer is calibrated in chemical industry as well as laboratory. Fahrenheit scale is calibrated in different clinical thermometer, and in thermometer mercury is used as a liquid. Now based on these formulas, some numerical are given. You have to do these numerical in your notebook. First numerical, convert 450 Kelvin temperature into degree Celsius. Number 2, convert the following temperature from degree Celsius to Kelvin. Number 1, 0 degree Celsius, you have to convert in Kelvin. 40 degree Celsius, you have to convert in Celsius. Now convert in Kelvin. Now third one, convert 100 degree Fahrenheit into degree Celsius. Now here, whatever the topics we have completed, you have to write down short note in your HW notebook. Hello students, chapter number 1, matter in our surrounding. Our next topic is interconversion of state of matter. Matter which exists in all the 3 states, solid, liquid, gas, it will be converted into one form of a matter, converted into another form by changing its physical conditions such as a pressure as well as a temperature. Now here we can see, as we increase the temperature, its kinetic energy increase. Due to increase the kinetic energy, the volume increase. Increasing the temperature, expansion take place, and that process is known as a thermal expansion. Now let us see the process where solid is converted into liquid state. It is denoted by symbol A. That process is known as a melting or fusion. Melting is a process where solid is converted into liquid state, and melting point is the temperature where solid is converted into liquid state. That temperature is known as a melting point. Now here liquid is converted into gaseous state. That process is known as a vaporization or evaporation. Conversion of liquid into gas is known as a evaporation, that already we have discussed. Now next process, number C, that gas is converted into solid. That process is known as a sublimation or diffusion. Now let us see reverse process, when liquid is converted into solid. That process is known as a freezing or solidification. Now next process, that is a E. Gas is converted into liquid state. That process is known as a condensation or liquefaction. For the conversion of solid into gaseous state is known as a sublimation. Process F is denoted as a sublimation. So all the 6 different type of process can be possible to convert the matter from one state to another state. Now here we have discussed all these process and their definition. Now sublimation, as already we have seen, it's a definition, the conversion of solid into gaseous state by heating, and gas can be converted into solid by cooling is known as a sublimation. Let us understand this activity, sublimation activity by this method. Now take sublime substance in this crucible or china dish. In that we have taken ammonium chloride, which is a sublime substance. You can take any one of the sublime substance, either ammonium chloride or camphor. Now take this wire, take this crucible, keep it on tripod stand. On this tripod stand we have kept wire gauze, on that I have kept this china dish. Now cover this china dish with inverted funnel, and this upper portion of inverted funnel covered or coated with a cotton plug. Now below this tripod stand fix the burner and start the burner. Now here this container is totally closed. This china dish is totally closed. Now inside that china dish ammonium chloride is there. When we start heating, this ammonium chloride vaporize, and this transparent funnel, which is made up of glass, become translucent, become hazy, and after some time this whole ammonium chloride get vaporized and stick on the surface of this funnel. Now remove this burner and cool this crucible. After cooling, once again we will get the drops, small crystals of ammonium chloride on the wall of this funnel. That means what? First, ammonium chloride is converted into gaseous form, and after cooling, this ammonium chloride vapors is converted into solid form. Hello students, our next topic is latent heat. That means hidden heat. Latent, that means which we cannot see, or hidden word. Let us define this term latent heat. Heat required to convert 1 kg of matter from one state to another state is known as a latent heat without disturbing its temperature. Now this latent heat can be classified in two different ways: latent heat of fusion and latent heat of vaporization. Now let us define latent heat of fusion. Heat required to convert 1 kg of ice into 1 kg of water at atmospheric pressure and same temperature is called latent heat of fusion. And in case of 1 kg of ice, to convert 1 kg of water, this heat is required 3.35 into 10 raised to 5 joule. Now number 2, latent heat of vaporization. This is a process where heat required to convert 1 kg of matter, that means 1 kg of water, into 1 kg of steam at atmospheric pressure and at its boiling point, that is 100 degree Celsius. And in order to convert 1 kg of water into 1 kg of vapor, that heat is 22.6 into 10 raised to 5 joule per kg. This value is given per kg. This much heat is absorbed to convert one state of matter into another state of matter. Let us understand activity based on latent heat. Now if we are taking water inside this beaker, now here I have taken beaker, thermometer, tripod stand, wire gauze, and this one is a stand, holding stand. Take 100 ml of water. Start the burner. Put thermometer, fix it inside that beaker. Now start heating. As heat started and boiling start at 100 degree Celsius. As such, temperature water boils, its temperature remain same. That means 1 kg, if we are taking 1 kg of water, it will convert into 1 kg of steam. During that time period, temperature remain fixed, that is 100 degree Celsius. Now, it is said that steam is more effective than a boiling water. Why? Because of latent heat of vaporization. Now, instead of this water, if we are taking ice piece, then latent heat of fusion take place. Suppose here I am taking ice cubes, and slowly and gradually you start little bit giving heating. Then at 0 degree Celsius, ice start melting. Till that whole ice will be converted into water form. The temperature remains same. Suppose we are taking 1 kg of ice and it will be converted into 1 kg of water. The temperature remain the same, that will become 0 degree Celsius. But the effect of ice pieces is more than the effect of chill water because of a latent heat of fusion. Now let us see that water we are saying as a wonder liquid. Water exists in all the three states. Now the expansion of water as well as condensation of water, expansion as well as thermal expansion as well as cooling. Due to that, water get expanded and its size get increased. At 4 degrees Celsius, the expansion of water molecule become maximum. Hello students, chapter number 1, matter in our surrounding. That our next topic is characteristic of evaporation. As we have seen, evaporation is a process where liquid is converted into vapor form or gaseous form, but below it's a boiling point. BP means boiling point. That is the first characteristic of evaporation. Second characteristic, it is the endothermic process. Evaporation is an endothermic process. Endo means in and thermic means what? Heat energy. It absorbs heat energy and causes cooling effect. Third characteristic is surface phenomena. When we take water, then evaporation always take place from the surface of water. Because with increasing the temperature, the particle present on the surface of water get disturbed because intermolecular force of attraction is very less, and particles from the surface they try to move away from each other. Now let us discuss some example based on cooling effect. As we have seen, evaporation causes cooling. So based on that, we can see different example. During summer season, always we are sprinkling of water on the roof surface as well as ground surface. In summer season, temperature is more. So increasing the temperature, heat also increase. So when we spread water on the surface, it absorbs the heat energy and we will call the cooling effect surrounding area. Number 2, perfume or talc causes cooling effect. We apply perfume or talcum powder. Perfume contain alcohol and talcum powder contain mint. They absorb heat energy from our skin and which produce cooling sensation on our skin. Now third example, pouring acetone or spirit on palm. Acetone means what? Nail polish remover. When we put a drop of acetone on our palm, it absorbs the heat energy from our palm and it causes cooling effect and we are getting the cooling sensation on our palm. Now fourth example, we wear cotton cloth in summer season. Why? Because summer season once again temperature is more though, so they absorb the heat energy and evaporation of heat energy take place. Due to that we feel cooling sensation. Sponging in fever, that is the last example I have given here. When we suffer from fever, doctor advised to put wet water cloth on the surface of our forehead because it absorbs the heat energy from our body and we feel cooling sensation. Continue on. Next topic is factors affecting on the rate of evaporation. Some factors affect. First one, temperature. Now, as temperature increase, rate of evaporation increase. In summer season, temperature is more, so wet cloth easily dried within shortened time period. So, which increase the temperature, speed of evaporation also increase. This upward arrow shows the increasing sign. Now, second factor, that is the surface area. Increase the surface area, rate of evaporation increase. Taking the example of hot tea. If we take hot tea in cup and the same quantity of hot tea in saucer. So, in case of cup, its surface area is smaller than a saucer. So, rate of evaporation become faster in case of saucer compared to cup and we are using saucer for that purpose. So, increasing the surface area, rate of evaporation increase. Third one, humidity. Increase the humidity, decrease the rate of evaporation. That is the reason in coastal area, peoples generally they used to wear cotton clothes because humidity become more. Humidity means water or moisture contained in the atmosphere. Now fourth factor is speed of wind. As wind speed increase, rate of evaporation increase. So wet cloth get dried easily when speed of wind increase. So all these factors which affect on the rate of evaporation. Now let us see what is the difference in between evaporation and boiling. Even though both are same process, but for one, temperature is not that much important. It takes place everywhere. And for boiling, it takes place at a fixed temperature. So let us see the difference in between evaporation and boiling. Evaporation is once again conversion of liquid into gaseous state at any temperature, while boiling also conversion of liquid into gaseous state but at a fixed temperature. Evaporation always causes cooling effect, while boiling it does not cause cooling sensation or cooling effect. Number 2, it is a surface phenomena. Evaporation is always take place from the surface of water, while in case of boiling, everywhere temperature remain the same. So it is a bulk phenomena. Number 3, slow or fast at different temperature. This process goes on changing. Which is changing the temperature, the rate of evaporation goes on changing. But here the boiling point always take place at a fixed temperature. Now last one, some factors affect on rate of evaporation such as the temperature, surface area, humidity, speed of wind, nature of the solvent. All these factors are physical factors which affect on rate of evaporation. While in case of boiling, these factors does not affect. That means all these physical factors, they do not affect on the process of boiling. So here we have completed this chapter number 1, that is a matter in our surrounding. So students, please complete all the notes in your CW or HW notebook. Meanwhile, you have to complete all the intakes and final exercise question answer in your fair book. Okay, thank you.